Live from the Mullins Center, it's UMass women's basketball on the 91.1 WMUA Sports YouTube. We've got a great crowd here today for UMass women's basketball facing off against the Akron Zips. UMass comes into this game 11-3. The Zips 3-13. They've had a very different start to the beginnings of their seasons. Beckett Story, Dylan Shalom on the call for you for the YouTube. And Dylan, what have you seen from this Minute Women team to start MAC play?
I mean, they've been electric. They've done such a good job in every facet of the game that they've needed to. And barring that one loss to Miami of Ohio, which is a very tough game on the road, they've done everything in their power to get themselves that number one spot going into the tournament in Cleveland. This is going to be another test against a team that's played some really good competition, Beckett. What can you tell me about that?
Yeah, absolutely. They've had probably the toughest start to the MAC schedule that they could ask for, having played Miami of Ohio, Ohio University, and Ball State in 3 of their first 4 games, now having to face UMass, who sits at the 4 seed in the MAC. Interestingly enough, they actually have the best winning percentage in all of the conference at 11-3. Just that one conference loss so far, but it's going to be a tough battle for these Zips. They've had some tough games to play in non-conference schedule as well. They've had to play Notre Dame, Youngstown State, and Michigan. So this team has seen a lot of good basketball players so far.
Yeah, and they're going to be at the whims of a lot of young players. They have 3 starters that are freshmen, and that's never a sign of a team that's ready to compete right away with the best in the conference. And you can see that as they've lost their first 4 games in conference play, and they're now heading into their 5th game against a very tough team. But it shows a lot of promise that they're able to play and compete and do a decent enough job. And you hear the crowd here at the Mullins Center. Beckett, have you heard this type of crowd here yet?
You know, not this season. Obviously, Field Trip Day, the most fun day of the year. They bring middle school students from all around Western Mass in here, and it's just going to be an electric atmosphere for these Minute Women. We know how much they appreciate having this type of fan support. And what a fun thing for all these schools to be able to do. One interesting note getting into this to start, the Akron Zips 0-7 on the road to begin this season, and UMass on the other side 6-0 at the Mullins Center, their best start here in 30 years.
Well, it's unstoppable force versus very movable object here at the Mullins Center. UMass have been incredible at home. Akron have really struggled on the road. We'll see if there's a break in the curse for either side, but assumptions can only be assumed. I would say this is a very likely Minute Women win.
Jess Ross doing a dance in the middle of the huddle as UMass's starting lineup stays the same as it always does. Megan Olbreeze, Chineye Odenabo in the front court, and Yamani McHale, Allie Palmieri, and of course Ayanna Franks, the sophomore, rounding it out for UMass's starting 5. As for the Zips, they will play Monique Mitchell, Corrine Reed, Naira Clark, Kieran McGuff, and Shayna Brew. Mitchell, Brew, and Reed, all freshmen. So the Zips are ready to go. Standing at the Power U logo, they're wearing their blue away uniforms with a bit of an off yellow, kind of goldish coloring for their letters and numbers, names on the tops of their jerseys. UMass wearing their new satiny home whites. Of course, the retro refresh, and you can hear this crowd. It might be hard to hear us today, Dylan.
I don't think so. I think our microphones will do a good enough job here in the booth, but we're just about ready for tip-off here at the Mullins Center. UMass versus Akron.
And excuse me, Chineye Odenabo not in the starting lineup, so Ayanna Franks takes the tip for UMass. Lily Ferguson almost collects it, unable to. She's in the starting lineup today, her first start of the year. Here's Corrine Reed. Pass it to her teammate Mitchell, near side wing. Now into the corner for Shayna Brew. Brew onto that low block, now back to Brew. Number 8 spins around, puts up a floater off glass. Hard contact, and Megan Olbreeze takes the charge.
It was a really good drive, and Olbreeze puts herself in the perfect position to take that charge and give the Minute Women the basketball and negate the 2 points that were coming from Akron.
First possession for the Zips. One turnover already. And Mike Leffler's squad gets the ball with 9:30 to go in the first quarter. Yamani McHale passes it off. Ayanna Franks. Ayanna Franks, far side wing, gets it to Allie Palmieri. Now Palmieri near the top of the key, bounces it into Lily Ferguson. Ferguson near the elbow, hands it off. Yamani McHale. McHale into the corner for Franks. She hit 2 threes last game. Now Olbrey's wide open for 3. Oh, yeah. And you can hear the crowd. They love it. UMass leads 3-0.
You cannot give Meg Olbrys that space and time to take that shot. Akron were on their game defensively, and Olbrys is able to put it away.
Reed passes it into the corner for McGuff. McGuff, bounce pass over to Brew. Brew now at the top of the key, sizing up the defense. Gets it back into McGuff in the paint. Tosses it out to Clark. Corner 3 from Clark. That'll go. So Akron able to tie the score early.
Good corner 3 there from Akron, who seemed a little bit uncomfortable moving the ball. And there's Olbrys again from 3.
If you leave her open, she'll try it again. 1 for 2 to start the game for her. And she's had much more attempts from beyond the arc this season. And they've been pretty consistent for her, nearly 40% from deep. Here is Akron. Clark driving into the paint, picks up her dribble, passes it out to Brew, who sticks the 3 there. Akron takes a 6-3 lead. Yamani McHale, quick trigger 2. That'll go from the charity stripe. It's 5-6.
A fast-paced game that's ruled by the 3 already as we see Akron moving up the floor just as quickly.
Mitchell throws it into the corner. McGuff wide open, no good. And an defensive rebound for Yamani McHale. Throws it up ahead to a moving Lily Ferguson, who finishes for 2. This crowd is deafening to start.
High-octane basketball, Beckett.
And a missed 3 on the other end. Akron not afraid to shoot the basketball so far in this game. A turnover, and Akron comes away with it. Bad pass there from Clark, trying to fit it into her teammate.
Uncharacteristic there from Clark to give the basketball away on a fast break opportunity, but you can see both teams are uncomfortable right now. Everyone just moving super quickly, trying to get points, not letting the shot clock run out, but McHale now in control.
Here's Ayanna Franks, far side wing, sizing it up, passes it off to her teammate, Allie Palmieri. Palmieri has the ball. UMass with a 7-6 lead over the Akron Zips with under 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Yamani McHale open for 3. You can't do that.
Yamani McHale is money from the three-point line, able to take that step into the shot.
So 10-6 the score. Zips passing the ball around. Brew throws it cross court over to Reed. Reed tries to find her cutting teammate, but that ball will land in the hands of Allie Palmieri, who gets blocked on the other end. What a play there from the freshman, Monique Mitchell.
Monique Mitchell chasing down Allie Palmieri, not giving her the grace of a free layup and swatting it out of bounds. UMass are going to have to try to get points another way.
Yamani McHale to inbound for UMass. Looking for Megan Olbrys. Finds Franks instead. Pull up, 2-point jumper off the front of the rim. Megan Olbrys nearly tracks it down, but is unable to. Akron has the ball now. Here's McGuff. McGuff, top of the key, picks up her dribble. Into the corner now for Corinne Reed. Reed loses the ball out of bounds. They'll say it's off of Ayanna Franks. Good active hands there from the sophomore.
This game starting to slow down ever so slightly with those 2 changes in possession. You hear the crowd go crazy.
They're showing a Get Loud screen on the video board, and these kids are not letting that go by without some screams. A drive inside, second chance opportunity, no good. That was Cameron Rhodes. 2 attempts at the bucket, but unable to finish it. Megan Olbrys wide open for 3 once again. No good that time. 1 of 3 to begin here.
Great rebound by Lily Ferguson to keep possession of the basketball, but you have to close down on Olbrys just a little bit. I know she missed the shot, but wide open. McHale now.
McHale open 3. That'll go. Yamani McHale continues her hot shooting. She has been averaging over 17.5 points per game her last 5 games as a steal on the other end for Lily Ferguson. You can tell these Minutewomen are feeding off this energy. Allie Palmieri tries to split the defense, step back. They'll say she pushed off there.
And she did push off. Palmieri trying to create as much space as she can, a little bit of a nudge. But UMass, a big three-point try there from Yamani McHale to up the lead to 7. 13-6.
Minutewomen on a 10-0 run over the last 2 minutes and 47 seconds. The Zips are going to talk it over for just a second here. Looks like it's not going to be a full timeout. But 5:10 to go. UMass with a 7-point lead. Mike Leffler is going to take this opportunity to get Jess Ross and Ayanna Perkins into the game for the Minutewomen. Olbreys will sit.
Franks will as well.
Franks as well. Thank you very much. So Akron to inbound. Going into their bench early are the Zips, trying to break UMass's press. Weigel has the ball, hands it off. Rhodes, back to Weigel. Open three, top of the key. That misses everything and goes into the first row of seats.
And that's going to be the timeout that we were talking about. You draw up a play in a fake timeout, and the shot goes very far away from anything that could give you points. So Akron will have a lot to discuss.
They certainly will. Mike Leffler and his squad will take a break too. 4:57 to go in the first quarter. UMass leads 13-6 here in Amherst. Back here in Amherst, UMass Minutewomen lead the Akron Zips 13-6 in this edition of MAC Women's Basketball here on the WMUA Sports YouTube. Beckett Story, Dylan Shalom here from the Mullins Center. And UMass has a 13-6 lead to begin this game. Been a lot of three-point attempts to begin, shooting from deep, both sides, and UMass so far has kept the edge.
The biggest takeaway is just how fast the game's been moving. A lot of high court pressing and a lot of fast transition opportunities.
Speaking of which, Lily Ferguson dumps it off. Jess Ross over to Perkins. Perkins, it rolls around that three-point attempt, but doesn't fall.
Perkins shot it perfectly, and it just went off of the back iron and nearly got in.
Clark in the painted area over Jess Ross. Gets it to go off the back in front of the rim and in. Here's Umani McHale sprinting down the left side of the court. Bounces it in. Lily Ferguson through contact for two.
Any points that Akron put up will not go unanswered. UMass able to get the points back really quickly.
Akron looking for two subs at the next whistle. Reed, step through three. That'll go.
Corinne Reed shooting pretty well this season. 44%.
Yamani McHale, near side wing, gets a screen. Thinking about a floater, she trips on the deck. A foul will be called. That'll go against the Zips. Their second team foul in the quarter with 3:51 to go. For Weed and Weigel, we will have Monique Mitchell and Maddie Vasicki into the game for the Zips. Step back, two-pointer, Allie Palmieri. That'll go, a good sign for her.
Tough
had
bucket.
Some streaky shooting recently, so always a good sign when she hits her first shot.
Very tough bucket there. Fading away, mid-range try, and she's able to rise above the defender and get the shot off.
17-11, UMass leads. Here's Mitchell. Far side wing, gets it over to Rhodes. Rhodes guarded by Yamani McHale. Now to Vasicki. Cross court, back to Mitchell. Open three, no good off the side of the rim. Tracked down by Rhodes, but lands in the hands of Lily Ferguson.
Fantastic play there by Rhodes to throw it off of Ferguson and retain possession. She had to dive down to the floor. And it's just those little hustle plays that keep games competitive.
And the Zips doing a good job staying in this game. Clark, plenty of contact on that attempt. She'll get two shots at the line here.
Naira Clark, the leading scorer on this Akron team, averaging just under 11 points a game. And if you look at the scoring numbers, Akron actually averaged more points a game than the Minutewomen, which is shocking considering the Minutewomen are considerably better in terms of record.
Well, I will say this. They've had two games this season scoring over 100 points, which is a very impressive feat, including one game where they scored 117. So this team really can score when they need to, but what it comes down to is their team defense. They're outscored on average by 6.5 points per game. Clark goes 1 of 2 at the line. It's 17-12. UMass by 5. Yamani McHale, nice pass to Megan Olbreeze under the hoop at the last second. What a dump off.
And that's what the size or lack of size of Yamani McHale does. She's able to create incisive lanes for herself, and Olbreeze is right inside there for the easy way.
Rhodes near side wing, trying to find a teammate, gets it over to Vasicki. Vasicki cross court to Mitchell. Mitchell's pass gets tipped by Ayanna Perkins. Mitchell, lob pass into the painted area. Clark gets blocked out of bounds by Ross.
Monique Mitchell, a very trusting pass into the inside, lobbing it up where only McGuff was able to go get it, and it got batted out of bounds following the catch. So we'll see an inbound here with just 4 seconds left on the shot clock.
Running out of time here, gets it in. That won't go, not enough time.
And I little time there was on the shot clock. Change made right there and then.
You can see her coach having a conversation with her right now. Ryan Gensler, in his third season with the team. Assistant coach at Illinois and Dayton. Bofass is familiar with it in Dayton. Franks over to Jess Ross. Ross getting some extended minutes here with Megan Olbreeze. Ross, two-pointer. In a step inside the three-point line, and that will go for her.
Line drive from Jess Ross there. No arc on that shot, but it doesn't matter. She's able to put it in, as that's a steal for Perkins.
A steal, bad pass from Perkins on the other end, throws it right to Monique Mitchell. I was going to say a bad pass from Akron, but make that double. Cross court into the corner, open three, no good. And Yamani McHale moving quickly to Megan Olbreeze, who finishes for two, up to 11. And Ryan Gensler wants another timeout.
through all the scoring and shooting, Yamani Mikhail is a point guard. She is able to find those passes, and Olbrey's able to put them away. UMass 23, Akron 12 with 1:49 left in the first quarter.
Just a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here. But like you said, 23-12 to begin this game. Akron shooting just 33% from the field, and the Minutewomen 10 of 15 for 67%.
What number was that, Beckett?
66.7%, but you are correct. 67% as the kids go crazy here.
I don't think that's what it was about, Beckett, but we'll hear them in the later stages of this game if we get to that number, the cursed number. Do you think it's ever going to die?
It sure will. Like any fad, eventually the kids will grow old of it. Here's Izzy Calloway working on Perkins. Passes it into the corner. Monique Mitchell. Mitchell over to Vasicki. Vasicki back to Brew. Into the paint. A foul is going to be called down low. Not on the shot attempt, so that'll go baseline out of bounds.
Mikhail checking out now.
Mikhail played all 40 minutes of last game against Central Michigan. Did not take a break, so a much-needed rest for the point guard. Mitchell, now cross-court. Vasicki, open three, far side wing, off the back of the rim. Rebound to Megan Olbrys.
And look how quickly Olbrys pushes the pace there.
Perkins drives and gets fouled. She'll get 2 at the charity stripe. Everyone on the Minutewomen is being aggressive and looking for their own shot today. Very impressive.
And their game plan is very clearly, once you rebound the basketball, drive, try to create points as quickly as you can, because we saw early in the game that the set defense that Akron had was very effective. But if you're able to get them when they're weak, that's when you're going to be able to win the game.
Well, it doesn't matter if it's a make, a miss, or a sideline out of bounds. UMass is running on every single possession. Pretty much fast break points every time they go down the court. Perkins goes 2 of 2 from the line and extends UMass's lead to 13. It's 25-12. Akron, their pass tipped away. Perkins, good active hands, but it lands in the hands of Shayna Brew. And that was, she stepped out of bounds.
That was hustle from Jess Ross, who fell down to the ground but quickly got up and made it hard for her to stay in bounds.
You can tell everyone on the Minutewomen are contributing today. Not just offense, but defense too. Jess Ross, double team. Gets the pass to Megan Olbrys. It's tipped out of bounds by Monique Mitchell.
Basketball rolled over that side of the press area. Beckett, has a basketball ever hit you?
It has. One time last season, I got to get my hands in the play. I believe it was on the road. And I actually got to throw it back into the referee. It was fun.
That's got to be great. That's got to be great. Always nice to have the broadcasters involved in the game, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. You know, making sure we're on our toes. So Megan Olbrys to inbound right in front of the scorer's table for UMass. She'll pass it back into the backcourt for Ayanna Perkins. Perkins, Ross, Palmieri, Franks, and Olbrys. The 5 for UMass. Quick trigger 3, Allie Palmieri. You can only hope to contain her. Here's Reed, spins around, gets it to her teammate Brew, now into the charity stripe. Mitchell, turnaround 2, a tough take over Jess Ross there.
Turnaround 2, tough take.
And Akron able to get their lead 14. They're down 28-4. Perkins holding for the last shot of the quarter. Bounces it into Ross. Ross double teamed yet again. Back to Perkins. Fakes the shot. Throws it into the corner. Franks wide open around the rim and out. 1.8 seconds to go, and McGuff will just hold it out. So that will end the first quarter. A high-flying first 10 minutes of play, and UMass scores 28 points, and they've doubled up the Zips through 10 minutes. It's 28-14.
And it was a really good performance from the Minutewomen from start to finish of that quarter, but there's a lot of game left. And with Akron's ability to just be pesky and make it difficult. If UMass have a stretch of time where they're not hitting their shots, it's going to be a lot more difficult for them to keep managing this lead. But for now, UMass lead by 14. They've doubled the score of Akron. We'll be back with the second quarter of action here on WMUA.
Back in Amherst, UMass leads 28-14 in their fifth game of their MAC schedule. Fourth in the conference in terms of wins in conference play so far, looking to get their fourth of the season. Akron starts with the basketball. Here's Reed. Reed, far side wing, gets a screen from Clark. Turns around, passes it to her teammate. Now into the corner for Shayna Brew. Clark tries to step through, and that'll be a travel.
A good start defensively to this quarter for the Minutewomen. And it's been both first possessions in each quarter for Akron that they've committed a turnover. So out of the jump, not very good planning.
Bounce pass into Megan Olbreeze. Two defenders on her. Tosses it off. Ferguson wide open at the elbow, but she can't make that jumper. Score stays where it is. 14-point lead for the Minutewomen. Into the corner for Akron. Now Reed. Open shot with the hitch. That'll be a foul called on Shayna Brew. She impeded Yamani McHale's ability to get that rebound.
That's like UCLA Lonzo shooting form.
It sure looks like it. Starts near her offhand and brings it back towards her correct elbow. It's very bizarre. That pass from Yamani McHale to Lily Ferguson, and she was not looking for it. It will turn into 2 easy points for Nyra Clark.
Now, that's a good idea, but you have to make sure Ferguson has the same eyes you do there.
So now Paul Mary working quickly, gets it up to Franks, who's moving on the baseline, who stutter steps and finishes for 2 on the right side. 30-16, UMass still by 14. Rhodes, near side wing, bounces it into Clark. Clark, bully ball on Lily Ferguson, and it'll work in her favor. 2 more points for the Zips. McHale, near the elbow, bounce pass into Ferguson. Ferguson on that low block, goes through, spin around, and that will go.
Again, very high by both of these teams.
Unbelievable, the pace in this game. Rhodes, Olbreeze, another defensive rebound. McHale already into the front court. Now Ferguson wide open. Nobody gets back on defense for the Zips.
Clever pass by the Rhode Island transfer, Ayanna Franks, able to see the leverage of the defenders that are not picking up Lily Ferguson while they were tracking out to get her. Easy pass for 2.
Rhodes over to Mitchell. Lob pass into Clark. Clark, turnaround 2. No good. That from about 9 feet on the baseline, but no good. Here's Umani McHale. A good over-the-shoulder catch like a wide receiver. Now into Olbrys. Olbrys on that low block. Takes her time, puts it up. No good. Off the side and left side of the rim. Mitchell working down the right sideline. Gets it back to Rhodes. Near side wing. Slows it down for the Zips. Rhodes looking for a teammate to pass to. Gets it back to Monique Mitchell. They switch positions. Now throws it cross court to Clark. Clark over into the corner for Reed. Reed working on Megan Olbrys. Olbrys staying with her defensively. Turnaround with no time on the shot clock, but able to stick with it is Monique Mitchell, who gets an open shot for Reed, who misses everything.
That's the second air ball of the day for Akron that has looked really poor as they make a 3-way switch right now. Weigel, Brew, and McGuff checking in.
You can tell the Zips are just trying to see anything that sticks with this offense. That a good job there quickly by McGuff into the game, able to steal the ball away in UMass's half court. Clark under the basket, turns around, gets it stolen away. Perkins has Palmieri to her left. Bounce pass, puts it up. That's 2 more for number 24. 36-18, UMass doubling up the Zips yet again. Crowd getting into it. McGuff, quick trigger 3. That'll go. Silence the crowd a little bit.
Good shot there.
Behind the back for McHale. Passes it out. Megan Olbrys open, top of the key, off the side of the rim.
She's now 1 for 4 from 3, all coming from about the same spot on the floor. And with no defense, she's going to keep pulling them.
Well, she loves her top of the key threes. We know she has the ability to hit them, as Weigel will try a step into 3. Defensive foul there as McGuff able to get the offensive rebound for the Zips.
And that's the right call. Olbrys came in a little bit rough. But already a very quick second quarter, already almost halfway in, and UMass lead by 15 points. So the high-octane basketball with the high press from Akron still working out in their favor.
Good cut there from Naira Clark, and she has 12 points in this game. That's more than she averages on the season. She averages 10.9 a game, already up to 12 with 5:38 to go in this first half.
And it's more than half of Akron's points as a whole.
Megan Olbrys, bully ball in the paint. That will go. Just backs down the defender and able to score there for 2 more. Up ahead for Akron. Here's Clark. Clark passes it to a cutting Brew, who finishes with a reverse layup. Crafty move there from the freshman.
Great finish with her offhand. That somehow didn't get stolen.
Umani McHale able to corral it. Step back 2-point jumper off the back of the rim. Unable to corral the offensive rebound is Megan Olbrys. 4:52 to go in the first half. Brew here slows it down, tries to pass it off to Weigel. She can't. Instead, gets it to Clark. Clark handoff Weigel. Now to McGuff. McGuff driving on Lily Ferguson, and Ferguson plays impeccable defense there.
McGuff had tunnel vision there.
Here's McHale, and they'll call an offensive foul on her as she tried to change her positioning on the baseline. A good job by the Zips to take that contact and run with it. So a timeout called here with 4:31 to go in the second quarter. UMass leads 38-25. We'll take a quick break, but we'll be back on the other side here on the WMUA YouTube. Back in Amherst on field trip day. Beckett Story, Dylan Challam here on the WMUA Sports YouTube, and the Minute Women very solid today, passing it around. Minute Women. Lily Ferguson, 8 points in the game. Yamani McHale, 8 points. Megan Olbrys, 9 points. Allie Palmieri, 7 points. So everyone getting in on the action for UMass.
You know it's a good offensive game when everyone's able to eat, and UMass have done a really good job spreading the love.
Akron starts with the ball out of the timeout. Bounce pass into Vasicki. Now near side wing for Brew. That three-pointer, no good. Left wide open there. UMass seems okay with allowing Akron open threes. Jess Ross open at the top of the key. She doesn't take the shot. Instead gets it to Perkins, who passes it along to her namesake teammate, Ayanna Franks. Now Ross does take the three, and she rattles it home.
Ross with 2 shots and 2 makes. One of them coming from just inside the three-point line. That one coming from outside. 5 points.
And it's safe to say at this point, it's likely as Clark is able to score there in the paint over Jess Ross, getting her scoring total up to 14. It's likely to assume that Chiney Odenabo will not play today. We have yet to see her, and Jess Ross has filled her shoes quite nicely, showing how important she can be on offense. Lily Ferguson tries a nice move, but unable to finish with the right hand. Here's McGuff, excuse me. Over to Brew.
Easy mistake.
Back to McGuff now, near side wing. Starts her dribble, now at the top of the key, picks it up, back to Brew. 10 seconds on the shot clock. She'll drive into 2 UMass defenders. Open 3 in the corner, and that will go. Izzy Calloway.
The best three-point shooter on Akron. Now 1 for 2 on the game. Izzy Calloway knocks that one down. She's averaging over 40% from 3.
Yeah, and talk about the volume. She had a game where she shot 8 of 11 from 3-point this season, including 36 total points in the game. That is the highest scoring game in all of the MAC this season. Vasicki, open 3, top of the key. Hits off the front of the rim and falls into the hands of Ayanna Perkins. Perkins up ahead to McHale on the left side. McHale, pull-up 2-point jumper. No good. UMass trying to keep it alive, but unable to. Akron doing a very good job on the rebounding side of the ball so far defensively. Brew, a tough turnaround move. And they're going to call an offensive foul on her. Great job by Lily Ferguson. Could have been an and one for Brew, but instead Ferguson able to set her feet, and she gets the ball back for UMass.
Now, I can't quite say I agree with that call. She dove into the pressure, sure, but she was not charging. I would not have called a foul there offensively, but UMass will take it and move.
You would have just said play on?
I would have said play on.
Referee Dylan Challam letting you know what he
You
thinks.
like the sound of that?
I do, yeah. A kick ball for UMass, so it'll stay Minute Women possession. Akron knocked it out of bounds. Yamani McHale gets it in to Megan Olbrys. Hand off to McHale as always. Corner 3 for Yamani, no good. But Jess Ross, an offensive rebound. Good job from her. UMass with just an 11-point lead now, 41-30. Akron's played better in this second quarter. Good dump off from Yamani McHale, and a cutting Jess Ross on the pick and roll. Finishes for 2.
You don't see a lot of minutes out of Jess Ross on a per-game basis, but she's played a lot today, and she has 7 points to her name. Really good bucket there.
Showing exactly why her depth as a missed shot for the Zips, but they're able to get away. Passes it off. Now to Mitchell. He rolls around the rim and falls out. Jess Ross able to knock it out of bounds and out of the hands of Izzy Calloway, but it'll stay Zips basketball.
Great ball movement there from Akron. You saw Vasicki with the ball at the top of the key, get it out to Calloway. Calloway, who's known for shooting the 3, decides against it, drives inside, and creates another open look. Didn't go, but Clark now with the ball.
Inbound Clark at the top and landed right near Jess Ross, but unable to collect it. So Akron will keep possession here. Clark, an uncharacteristic miss at the rim, but she did have Jess Ross in her way. She's been so good today. 6 of 8 from the field with 14 points. Visicki receives the inbound. Passes it over to the far wing, now to the near side wing for Rhodes. Perkins, good hands. Ball nearly ends up with us, Dylan.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier today. But that's what makes this team defensively so fierce, is that every pass is contested. Perkins was nowhere near being able to intercept that ball. If you just look at the ground that she was on right before the pass, she dives in for it and makes a play.
Mitchell, quick trigger 3, and she puts her hand over her mouth as she airballs that one.
That's airball number 3 for the Zips.
A little too overzealous are the team from Akron. And Megan Olbrey is now to inbound with 46.4 seconds to go in the first half. UMass with a 13-point lead. Yamani McHale runs across the baseline to an open Jess Ross for 3, who misses it off the side of the rim, but Megan Olbrey's got fouled under the hoop. It'll stay UMass basketball.
And do you see the confidence shift in Jess Ross already? From the first second she was on the floor, she had the ball at the top of the key. She decided against the three-pointer. She made 2 shots in a row. Now she's pulling them with a little bit of pressure in her face. 7 points on the game for an important sub.
Absolutely. That is one thing we saw from her a lot last season as the season went on, her growing into her confidence and her ability on the court. Love to see it again this year. Perkins over to Ross.
Very little shot clock left.
But she'll throw it in to Olbrey's, who misses the layup there. An uncharacteristic miss for Megan Olbrey's, who had an open shot. And she and Jess Ross just have to laugh it off.
You can see the frustration, but you're up by 13 points. You can't let it get past you.
Olbrey's will take a seat. Ferguson back into the game for the last 18.7 of the first half. Again, UMass leading 43-30 in this game. Akron inbounds it. Rhodes with the ball. Rhodes taking her time, bringing it down. Gets a screen. Rhodes hands it off. Reed, 6 seconds to go. Open 3, no good. Able to land with it is Clark, and she gets fouled with 0.3 seconds in the first half.
And this has to be the quickest of catch and shoots. You're going to have maybe that half second, not even a half second, the less than a tenth of a second to grab onto the ball from this inbound. That's different from a .1 where you're going to have to actually bat the ball. You might have the ability to release it here, but we'll see how the Minute Women are able to defend this inbound.
So 0.3 seconds. Looking for a lob at the hoop. Gets it into McGuff, and nothing doing there. So the halftime score, UMass 43, Akron 30. As on field trip day, UMass's offense is absolutely feeding off of this energy from the local middle and elementary schools. And what a first half it was.
It's a really good first half. And the biggest thing in the way that this game has transpired has been the speed of the game. UMass and Akron, both Akron playing really high court pressure. UMass trying to beat it and successfully beating it. And then when they do, being able to get buckets on the downside of that rush. Really good performance from their offense to this point. We'll see what they're able to do in the second half, Beckett.
52.9% from the field, 41.7% for 3 for the Minute Women. They look to continue their hot shooting when we come back from break in around 13 minutes. We'll talk to you then on 91.1.
Joining you live from YouTube. It is halftime here at the UMass versus Akron game, and when I tell you this crowd is buzzing for field trip day, let me just show you the scenes. Dylan Shalaman Beckett Story will be back with the broadcast in about 8 or so minutes with the second half, but lots of fans here, lots of kids for field trip day. Super excited to give you guys the second half of action. UMass 43, Akron 30, halftime.
Back from halftime, Beckett Story, Dylan Shalom on the WMUA Sports YouTube, and what a first half it was. UMass Minutewomen lead the Akron Zips 43-30, and it was an offensive first half. Both teams shot over 15 threes in that first half, which is quite remarkable. And UMass finished 1 of the last 7 from the field, so they started to slow down there at the end, but still able to be in control of this game.
Yeah, and the Minutewomen, in order to continue this run that they've gone on, they're going to need to continue to be able to play out of the pressure that Akron have set up for themselves. Akron have made it very difficult for the Minutewomen to check the ball in after giving up points. It's going to be a really telling sign if they're able to continue to beat that pressure and go on to win this game, because despite the scoreline, Akron have not made it easy.
No, they certainly haven't. They're leading the rebounding battle in this game, 21-18, including 9 offensive rebounds, which has given them a lot more opportunities to score than Mike Leffler and his squad would like to. The leading scorers in the game so far: Nyla Clark leads all scorers with 14 points on 6 of 9 from the field. For the Minutewomen, their leading scorer, Megan Olbreeze, the always steady senior from Norwood. And this place is just an absolute madhouse today, Dylan. I don't think we've ever seen it like this in our time here at UMass, and it's a welcome addition.
Mullins is rocking, ready to go for this second half of basketball. The kids still got it, Beckett. They're very active and excited about watching this UMass women's basketball team in the second half. And the team is benefiting from their presence for sure. Very loud, very proud, very excited.
No question about it. They're just going to have to find a way to bust these kids to every home game from here on out.
Do you think that's possible, Beckett?
Logistically, absolutely not, but what a fun thought
it would be. Very fun.
You got to think most of these kids live in close enough proximity to Amherst that they could probably come to these games with their families.
And that is the goal of this field trip day, is to get the parents to get the tickets because they had such a good time, but we'll see how that works marketing-wise. But the game is just about to go back.
So here we go. Lily Ferguson inbounds it to Yamani McHale. UMass now going from left to right from our side. Yamani McHale on the cut. Little dump-off pass, Lily Ferguson. UMass passing it around. McHale, open three, is no good, off the side of the rim and out. Here's Akron. Shayna Brew. Now into the corner for Monique Mitchell. Mitchell gets it off to McGuff. McGuff now at the top of the key. Trying to get it back to Mitchell. Mitchell on the cut. Megan Olbreeze tries to get there in time to defend, but throws Mitchell to the ground, and that'll be a foul on UMass.
A 3-player pile-up on the ground there. And on UMass's first possession, Olbreeze was open at the elbow, but was able to find McHale, who was even more open. Shot didn't fall. Giveaway there.
Good hands for Megan Olbreeze. Gets UMass the basketball back. Franks, near side corner, gets it over to McHale. McHale at the top of the key. She's thinking about it. Stutter steps, now drives in. Throws it into the corner for Ferguson. Ferguson now to Paul Mary. Quick trigger three. And that misses everything. Hits Megan Olbreeze nearly in the face.
Jess Ross checking in here for Olbreeze. She might have picked up a little bit of a knock on that. Quick contact on the other side of the floor.
So Jess Ross averaging just over 9.2 minutes per game this season as she receives the inbound from Yamani McHale, but there was no time on the clock.
Nobody was aware of that.
No, I wasn't even aware of it. That's my bad. But UMass with their first turnover of the second half. 43-30, still the score. Up ahead to McGuff. Stops her dribble, now throws it across. Brew thinking about where to toss it. Now to Mitchell. Mitchell Akron not looking to dribble it so much right now until McGuff puts it on the paint and drops it in for her teammate Naira Clark. What a pass.
Clark is having a fantastic game. Able to put that one in on the easy way.
So Akron, the first points of the second half. Jess Ross trying to bully her way in, gets her own miss, and finishes with her left hand.
And that was for anyone who follows the men's basketball team, a Leo Bettiol-esque.
Absolutely.
Throw off the backboard. Very powerful, very capable getting that one in. And Jess Ross having a game for herself. She now has 9 points and 4 rebounds.
Yeah, back to what I was saying. Jess Ross just averaging around 9.2 points per game, or minutes per game this season, but already up to 10 in this game with a full second half to go. So you have to think the way she's played today has put Mike Leffler in a position where he's going to have to start playing her with more consistent minutes.
Well, we'll see what the update on Shanae Denebo is, because you have to assume that she's picked up an injury of some sort to have her not be playing at all today.
She does appear to be dressed, which makes me think it was almost a game-time decision. It's the first time she hasn't started and or played in, I believe, 11 games. I think she missed the second or third game of the season, but just such a crucial piece to this team. But Jess Ross filling in so well today. 8:27 to go in the third quarter. Got a timeout here. We'll just hang around for a few more minutes. It's 45 to 32. UMass really has been around this 11 to 13 point lead since the end of the first quarter, but just haven't really been able to separate themselves.
You know what would be really interesting, Zeke, and it's completely off topic? If they did some of those marketing games with the kids here on the floor, like last men's basketball game, they had a diaper derby baby race where they went from half court to a checkered flag. You could do any sort, like have the middle schools play against each other or something. That would be really cool.
That would be cool. They're usually so good about these halftime entertainment, mid-break entertainment situations. It does feel like there's a missed opportunity here with this many kids.
I mean, the kids were entertaining themselves. They had the music going, the cameras going, and everyone is having a great time here at the Mullins Center.
Except maybe the Akron Zips.
Well, that's a really good point, Beckett. Except for maybe the Akron Zips. Everyone but the Akron Zips.
And even so, I do think they are probably, obviously, a lot of shots that they wanted the ball happen. But I think their coach probably has to be happy with the fact that they've been able to stay in this game. I mean, one big run could turn this into a 5-point game for these two teams. And that's just something that they do. They stick around. A lot of these teams we've seen in this early going of MAC play, it doesn't matter if they have 4 wins or 12 wins. They're going to play up to the ability of the team they're facing.
Naira Clark has been a big part of that.
Especially with a slower game for Mitchell. Just 2 points from her. Mitchell, far side wing. Gets it to Reed. Akron in their half court. 13 seconds to go on the shot clock. Now into the corner for Mitchell. Double teamed is Clark. Now it's just Jess Ross on her. Clark nearly loses it, and she does. Yamani McHale throws it up ahead. Allie Palmieri with no dribbles. She finishes for 2.
And it's just too easy on the transition for the Minutewomen. It's 2 passes and right to the bucket.
There's McGuff. It's head at the baseline. Now crossed it over. Blue. Over to McGuff. McGuff at the top of the key. Drives to the left. Picks up a dribble. Tough shot. Unable to finish, but lands in the hands of Naira Clark. What a job from her. And she's able to finish and get an extra shot at the line. That'll be an and 1 for Naira Clark.
Naira Clark with her 18th point of the game. 5 Zips this season have hit the 20-point mark. 2 of them coming from Naira Clark.
And I think that goes to show how deep this team can be with, obviously, as we talked about before, how many young players they have, as Clark is unable to hit the free throw. So it'll stay at 47-34. What a pass from Yamani McHale. Spin around, Jess Ross, oh yeah.
We were talking about the confidence. How about that, Beckett?
What a move from Jess Ross. Gets the defender going the opposite direction from about 4 feet out and finishes with ease. UMass's lead up to 15 points in the paint. There's Clark, another and one.
And that's the 20-point mark for Naira Clark. She's going to have a chance again at the line, this time to right her wrongs from last time. But again, sticking around. It's a 13-point game, which is not a decline, but it's still, you can summit that.
Absolutely. I mean, Naira Clark is putting her entire team on her back right now. 20 of her team's 36 points in this game. But free throw misses again. Yamani McHale, defensive rebound. So 49-36, up ahead. Allie Palmieri, open three, it's good.
Missed opportunities to makes for the Minute Women. The foul, Clark wasn't able to hit the free throw. That shot from Jasicki off the back iron, no good.
Yamani McHale ends up with the basketball. Minute Women moving again quickly. Passes it out, Ferguson. Now to Franks. Yamani McHale, step back. No good that time. Would have been a heat check for the Minute Women, who are now up 16 in this game. Weigel, three-pointer, no good. Allie Palmieri dives on the deck for the basketball. There's a fight for it. 4 defenders on the ground. That'll be a jump ball. It'll go Akron's way.
Beckett, at one point there were 6 players on the floor scrounging for that basketball.
A good fight. You love to see it from both these two teams. Neither side giving up. The possession arrow will favor Akron in this case, so they will end up with possession of that basketball. What a game it has been from Allie Palmieri, though. You can say it about just about every player on this team, but a comeback game from her. We talked about her having some shooting struggles as of recently, but 5 of 7 from the field today, 2 of 3 from deep. She's just such an invaluable player when she's hitting her threes. That's the beauty of her game. And of course, this season, just going into today, just 27.4% from beyond the arc this year. She's been missing quite a few as of recently, but actually have been better in recent weeks. 11 of 35 in her last 5 games, which is over 30.
And not only is she hitting her threes, she's very important to the transition attack, the quick fast breaks, and as well as making a really tough contested 2-pointer for her first bucket on the game, fading away, getting over the trees, and knocking that shot down. UMass have been very lucky to have a good game from her, especially when McHale hasn't been able to put as many points on the board as she is accustomed to. Averages 16 points per game. She only has 8 to this point, but the passing for McHale has been her biggest factor today.
Absolutely. Well, last game against Central Michigan, 18 points, 9 rebounds for her, 9 assists for her. Today, 8 points, 8 assists. So, McHale still in the realm of a double-double. Of course, she is one of 3 Minute Women ever to have a triple-double. That came in the WNIT last season. What a remarkable game that was.
Do you think that could be replicated, Beckett?
Absolutely. I think she could absolutely have another triple-double. The thing for her, obviously, at her size of 5'6", as they tell us, the rebounding is harder for her, but the biggest thing is it's just about being in the right place at the right time. And for her, she has 4 rebounds today, all defensively. So she is, I mean, she's such a strong woman. She is able to fight for rebounds herself. It's all about positioning for her, though. So really, it just has to be right place and a right time. But if anyone can do it, it's her. Akron back onto the court. UMass taking their time out of the huddle. 6:04 to go in the third. UMass leads 52-36. Out of the timeout, it will be Jess Ross, Imani McHale, Ayanna Franks, Lily Ferguson, and Allie Palmieri for UMass. Kids getting into it as the screen tells them to yell defense.
They are yelling defense, Beckett.
The play began.
Now that the defense is to be played, will they yell defense?
It is unclear. We'll have to ask the graphics department. It's back up on the video board. So 52-36, UMass by 16. Everyone just waiting patiently for the buzzer. There it is.
Both teams got out on the floor quickly.
Akron to inbound. Into Vasicki, far side wing. Now into the corner for Brew. Brew passes it back to Vasicki. Into the paint. Over two UMass defenders. And one, Naira Clark.
And she is well on her way to having her best game of the season. In fact, scoring-wise, she hit double figures twice, or rather 20 points twice this season. And with this free throw, she would hit her high.
Her first made free throw of the day, and that's 3 consecutive and ones for Naira Clark. Incredibly impressive. She is single-handedly willing this Akron team into this game. McHale passes it over, far side wing. Here's Ayanna Franks. Franks still yet to really get into the scoring here today. Now to McHale. McHale gets a screen from Jess Ross. She'll turn around. Reverse layup is good.
She didn't even look at the basket, Beckett.
Needs side view mirrors for how she's shooting. A missed shot by Akron. Naira Clark had a chance for the putback, but it goes out of bounds. It'll be Minute Women basketball. Missed opportunity there for Akron with 2 shots at the rim. And we'll get another quick timeout here. This one just a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here. 5:24 to go in the third, 54-39. UMass leads.
What makes Imani McHale so special offensively is just how unpredictable she is in how she carries the basketball. She's not necessarily pass first, but she's a threatening enough passer that you always have to watch all the avenues that you're defending against. But then she could go and do that. She could pull up and take a 3. She can do anything you ask of her, barring maybe post up a bigger player. But even if she's getting in position to do that, you have to watch the passing angles, and she's so fast and able to spin out of pressure. She's a jack of all trades, and she's mastering all of them too.
Certainly that. And it's interesting because you brought that up, and it makes me think Imani McHale really is a mismatch. And that's an interesting thought because you don't talk about 5'6" players as the positive side of a mismatch very often. But she plays so much taller than she actually is. And like you mentioned, if you give her even a foot of space, she will put a floater down. So you have to play her like she's a bigger mid-sized guard. And that allows for a lot of open passing lanes, like you mentioned. So just such a remarkable player, and I'm sure you are too. I'm so grateful to get to watch her grow and get to watch her play, because she has improved so much since the beginning of just last season. And we're talking about the A10 Rookie of the Year.
UMass back out on the floor. Olbreys, Ross, Palmieri, Franks, and McHale.
Certainly some different lineups today than we've seen, with Jess Ross having so many significant minutes. But she has really, really stood up to the challenge with no problems today. Extended 30-second timeout, I'll say.
Yeah, this has been a long 30 seconds.
So UMass's ball under the hoop.
And compared to the quick-firing first 2 quarters of basketball, this is a much different look to this third quarter, where these teams are being much more intentional in their possession. But Akron still high-court pressing. McHale trying to get out of it.
Absolutely. McHale getting double-teamed, a jump ball. Possession will favor Akron yet again. So they'll keep the basketball. UMass 4 of their last 5 from the field, but just unable to get that ball out of harm's way. A good trap there from Akron. A little bit of taste of UMass's own medicine there.
Akron's been trying to trap them all game.
Mostly unsuccessfully, but that time it worked out in their favor. Here's Brew on that far side corner. Brew dribbles with her left hand, gets it to Weigel, who's unable to hit the 3 from the top of the key. Jess Ross nearly saves it. It'll be out of bounds. Minute Women basketball. A great job by Jess Ross and Yamani McHale to stick with that basketball.
When you're down by as much as Akron are down by right now, with the threat of it becoming worse, you have to make all of your open shots, and that's one that you can't afford to miss.
26 seconds on the shot clock. Yamani McHale has to move quickly. Now Megan Olbrys, but Lily Ferguson wide open under the hoop. She gets fouled on that shot attempt. The defender for Akron, Corinne Reed, did a great job getting back on defense. And Lily Ferguson, who looked to have a wide open layup under the hoop, will get 2 at the line.
But there you see the downfall of the high court press strategy is you have a player in Lily Ferguson standing under the hoop waiting for the basketball, and if the ball gets there, it's now an opportunity at the line, but usually it's going to be 2 points going the other way.
Lily Ferguson, one of the best free throw shooters on the Minute Women, hits the first of 2. Lily shooting 84.6% from the line this season. Second is no good there. Reed with the rebound for Akron. Gets it into the half court. Into the corner. Brew open 3. No good. UMass unable to track down that rebound. Good job by Reed there to make some space, but unable to finish at the rim. There'll be a foul on the floor. UMass basketball.
And you'll see all of these missed opportunities that Akron could have had points on are now going to look a lot worse as UMass are going to look to go and extend their lead and make it untenable for Akron to come back.
4:37 to go in the third quarter. Ayana Franks with the ball. Far side wing. Bounces it back to Yamani McHale near the Power U logo. Right around Boston Harbor on that UMass court. Franks to Olbrys. Olbrys at the top of the key looking for a cut from her teammates. Gets it over to McHale. Screen from Olbrys. McHale looks for the cut.
Shot clock winding.
6 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Perkins. Step in, 2-point jumper, no good, but right in the hands of Lily Ferguson, who's able to finish under the rim. 57-39, UMass by 18. Akron gets it into the half court. Reed bounces it into the corner for Clark, and she stepped on the baseline. It'll be Minute Women basketball once again.
Monique Mitchell, as well as now Kieran McGuff checking into the game for Akron. If they ever needed their stars to show up, it would be right now, down by 18 points with time winding down in the third quarter.
Yamani McHale with the basketball for the Minute Women. Lily Ferguson, who was wide open on the left block, gets into the paint and finishes. Lily Ferguson calling her own number. And she's got 11 points on 5 of 7 today. Ferguson, nearly a steal on Monique Mitchell, who goes hard towards the basket. They'll call a block on Ayana Franks. That'll be 2 shots at the line.
Akron have been very passive defending against Lily Ferguson. That's led to her getting 4 straight points for the Minute Women.
Monique Mitchell at the line, just 2 points in the game, 1 of 6 from the field, and 0 of 4 from deep. She's averaging over 10 points a game this season, so an uncharacteristic game from the freshman from South Bend. But his start is good. As the crowd quiets off a little bit.
Mitchell has 6 games of over 10 points.
Her second is good as well. She also has 3 games with 2 or more steals, and she has 2 today, so make that 4. Yamani McHale slowing it down, nearing 3 minutes left in quarter number 3. Perkins spins around on the elbow. Over to McHale, bounces it to Olbrys into Ferguson. Ferguson feeling hot. Unable to hit that turnaround 2-point jumper. Here's McGuff. That ball stolen away. Ayanna Franks, the thief. She'll come up and finish with the right hand.
A scoop and score for Ayanna Franks. A really nice picked off pass.
Akron nearly loses it out of bounds. That's Callaway. Yeah, does that count as 6 points?
Nah, it's
Defensive touchdown.
There is such thing as a pick two.
Not an thing you see very often. Over far side wing for Callaway. No good yet again from 3.
Callaway not been as effective from the 3 as she usually is.
Olbrys finishes for 2 quickly. UMass wasting no time, and it's a 22-point lead, their largest of the day.
We're 4 points away from the lucky number, Beckett.
63 points for the Minutewomen, 41 for Akron. Clark spins around and finishes. 25 points for Nia Clark. And Franks moves quickly on the other end, gets fouled on the low block, and she'll get 2 points to the line. UMass is getting across the court in record time. By the time they have the rebound, they're already out with an outlet pass and out by the hoop within 5 seconds, Dylan.
And that was clearly the game plan going in, as Leah Bullard's going to check in for the first time today. They wanted to get out in front of Akron because their set defense is pretty effective. But when they're flailing around trying to get back defensively, they haven't been able to do as good of a job.
Certainly, the fast break defense has been questionable today for Akron. So Franks at the line, shooting 2. First one is good. Franks, of course, has quieted down from her scoring. She's up around 10 points per game to start the season, and a part of that really because of how often she was getting to the free throw line. So she goes 1 of 2. But this season, just 60.5% from the charity stripe. So something she could certainly clean up down the stretch. Corin Reed. That'll be McGuff, who will get the foul called in her favor. Ayanna Franks is incensed.
You know how loud this building would get with a three-pointer, Beckett?
It would be deafening in here, I'm quite sure. And the kids, I'm sure, are thinking about it now. So Kieran McGuff at the line for 2 from Dublin, Ohio.
There's Athens, Ohio. There's Dublin, Ohio.
Just about everywhere you can think of. She goes 2 of 2 from the line there, and now has 5 points in the game.
Anya George also in the game now.
Ferguson gets the pass now to Perkins. Perkins holding the ball, minute 20 to go. Here's Ania George. George over to Bullard, top of the key. Now to Perkins.
Shot clock running out.
Step back, defender on the ground, off the front of the rim. But Perkins able to corral it herself. George, open 3, top of the key. No good. The kids would have lost it had she made that 3.
It's coming.
It'll go out of bounds. Akron basketball. Actually, excuse me, that'll be a foul on the Minutewomen. Akron in the bonus now, so they'll get 2 shots at the line.
It really is remarkable how much of the offense from Akron has come from Nyla Clark. 25 of 45 points. 46 now.
I mean, you talk about the engine that makes this team go. If it weren't for Nyla Clark, UMass would be leading this game by 40. Perkins receives the inbound now to Ferguson. Perkins and Ferguson playing hot potato to get it over half court. Perkins gets trapped, and a timeout called by Mike Leffler with 50.7 to go in the third.
We want to keep it here, Beckett, because we're going to have to go to break. for the quarter, so might as well keep it
time
here.
To keep it here. 25 points for Naira Clark. What a game from her. Her season high, like you mentioned before, was 22 going into this game. But before this game, her last 5, she had scored 12 points or less in every instance. So for her to come into this game and score in such a way, it's just got to give Akron a sense of we still know what we have here. You know, obviously this was going to be an uphill battle from the get-go for these Zips, but knowing that they have such a talented player in Naira Clark means they can hopefully build around her.
What I feel is so impressive about her today is her ability to get second chance points. Offensive rebounds, putting it back up, and getting to the free throw line as well. She's the most fouled player on this team. Leads the team in free throw attempts, leads the team in scoring, so she's much the heart and soul of this Zips team. As UMass will have a very rotated group of players out on the floor. It's Palmieri, Ferguson, Bullard, Perkins, and George.
We saw it before. Lily Ferguson loved to play with some of the younger players, show off some of her leadership skills. Palmieri, quick trigger 3 off the front of the rim, no good. The crowd gasps. Here's McGuff. Now far side wing for Akron. Into the corner, McGuff loses it out of bounds. Perkins, good hands there. It'll stay Zips basketball.
A funny note, you see Meg Olbreeze and Jess Ross both get up and look at the crowd when the shot hit the rim. The players want it as badly as the fans do at this point.
Natalie Johnson here. Picks up her dribble. One step inside the free throw line. Now passes it off. 8 seconds on the shot clock, 15 on the game clock. Here's Rhodes. Drives with the left hand. Bullard fouled her on the drive.
With 1 second left on the shot clock, too.
So that leaves 10 seconds remaining in the third quarter for these Minutewomen after these free throw attempts. From Cameron Rhodes, the senior from Chandler, Arizona, one of just 2 players who actively are playing this season who aren't from the Midwest.
First one, no good.
Rhodes, 0 points in this game, make it 1 on the made. She was 0 of 4 from the field. George, far side wing, puts up a quick shot, nowhere close for her, and that will end the third quarter. UMass with a commanding lead, 64-48. With 10 minutes to go, we'll take the turn and head for home. UMass leads big in their 5th MAC game in Amherst. back here in Amherst on the 91.1 WMUA Sports YouTube. 10 minutes to go, and the Minute Women lead by 16. It's 64-48 here at court on the University of Massachusetts campus. Yamani McHale, 9:50 to go in the fourth. We'll call a blocking foul there as she runs into Cameron Rhodes. Rhodes did not have her feet set, and that will be the first team foul for the Zips. McHale inbounds Olbreeze. Olbreeze passes it out. Franks open, bounces around and goes. 67 points for the Minute Women, and the kids are loving it.
I have never seen such rapid hand motion.
Oh my goodness, this is something to behold. I wish that you could see it. Check out the ESPN Plus stream if you have a chance. 6-7 flashing on the big video boards here. Thanks, so block offensively. UMass has numbers, 3-on-2, good pass off to Palmieri, who gets blocked out of bounds. To live up to everything you were hoping for?
It did. It was brewing for a long time. They shot a lot of three-pointers in a row in the way that it bounced off the front rim and then dribbled in from Franks.
Inbound, Olbreeze, quick trigger, no good, from about 6 feet out. Bounce pass, here's Clark. Clark under 9 minutes to go. Her pass stolen away. Palmieri jumped the passing lane. Behind her, passes it off, Yamani McHale. McHale, step back. Had Rhodes move in the opposite direction, but wasn't ready to shoot the three. Franks into Olbreeze, finishes for two. 69 points for the Minute Women, and a 21-point lead.
Any legs that Akron had in this game are quickly evaporating.
Three from the corner, no good. The Zips are running on fumes, and the Minute Women are feasting here to begin the fourth. Jess Ross under the hoop at 71 points. Blue gets it in. Clark spins around Ross, puts it up and doesn't roll home. Just a little too much sauce there. 23 points for the Minute Women. McHale bounces it into Ross. Jess Ross backs down the much smaller defender, but unable to finish. A little too soft on that one. Quick shot is good. That'll be Liz Murphy into the game for the first time. Comes all the way from Australia and sticks the three.
20-point game now.
Olbreeze to Palmieri. Palmieri far side wing. Picks up her dribble. Gets it into Meg. Meg spins around, a vicious rip through into the corner for Jess Ross. It lands right in the hands of Olbreeze. McHale, open three, rolls around and out.
The three-point tries have come fewer and far between in this second half for UMass.
Murphy again tries the step back that'll go off the hands of Olbreeze. She can't believe she wasn't able to collect that one.
Ferguson checking in now for Jess Ross.
(71-51). UMass leads by 20. 6:50 in the fourth quarter. Inbound pass tipped by Yamani McHale. UMass has a 2-on nobody. Perkins unable to finish, but there's Lily Ferguson, misses her own, gets fouled under the hoop. It'll stay UMass ball, but a missed opportunity from UMass there to add two more.
And she was coming with too much heat towards the basket. She didn't slow down quick enough, but Mike Leffler is incensed. You can't give away 2 points, no matter the point in the game. You're up by 20 points. An open layup is never going to land well with a coach.
McHale finds space and finishes with the left.
And how did she get her hand around Murphy there?
It's just so impressive from her. Everything she does, finishing at the rim with ease. Liz Murphy, another three. That'll go once again. She's 2 of 3 quickly. And she's just a spark plug for this Zips team. You wonder why she hasn't been in the game so far. Palmieri, far side wing. Out to McHale at the top of the key. Gets a screen from Ferguson. Ferguson will roll. Tries to get the pass to her. It'll be tipped out of bounds by Cameron Rhodes. It'll stay UMass basketball. 5:56 to go in the fourth quarter. As some of the middle schoolers are lining up to get high fives with Sam the Minuteman. Allie Palmieri, quick three. Oh, yeah. Palmieri so quick. Excuse me, that'll be a two-pointer, a step inside the three-point line.
Very close to the three-pointer, and her trigger has been incredible to this point today.
Murphy once again, why not? Ball nearly kept alive, but unable to is Natalie Johnson. Minute Women basketball. You're exactly right. I don't know a player that I've seen in my 4 years covering women's college basketball that has as quick of a release as she does. It's remarkable how fast she can get the ball out. Palmieri dumps it off. Olbreeze now back to Palmieri, and they'll call an offensive foul as Megan Olbreeze cut to the hoop.
Akron have done a good job at drawing these offensive fouls for turnovers. Olbreeze has come in a little bit too hard a few times.
Murphy into the corner. That will be McGuff. Nearly loses the dribble on Megan Olbreeze. Olbreeze doing good job staying with her defensively, shuffling her feet. Now over to Brew, far side wing. Brew will drive baseline. Nearly throws it into the corner, but passes it out of bounds. Natalie Johnson could not stretch far enough to receive that pass.
Monique Mitchell checks in, as well as Nyra Clark.
21-point lead. Akron not giving up in this game. Still 5:03 to go in the fourth. McHale gets it over the timeline, passes it to Perkins. Now to Olbreeze. Back to McHale on the S of the Power U.
McHale is running this game right now.
Step into three. It's good. 78 points for the Minute Women. Yamani McHale not slowing down.
15 points for McHale.
Double team under the hoop. Mitchell has to throw it out, tries to throw it into the corner, and it lands in the front row of seats. There will be a timeout called. Akron wants to talk it over. 4:26 to go in this game. UMass leads by 24 points, 78-54. We'll take a break and be right back on the WMUA YouTube. final 4 minutes and 26 seconds here from the Mullen Center in Amherst. UMass leads by 24 points. It's been a fun day today on Field Trip Day. The early start at 11 a.m. We'll be out of here before 1. 4:20 to go in the fourth. Here's Ferguson. Ferguson passes it off. Ayanna Perkins. Now to Ross. A foul is going to be called on the floor. Be a push. UMass keeps possession here.
UMass are going to be content to roll with the players they have on the floor. Potentially see the walk-ins come into a big lead in the third quarter and then fourth.
Perkins starts her dribble drive, throws it back. George with a cut between the legs, throws it to the top of the key for Jess Ross. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Allie Palmieri has to make something happen. What a scoop layup. My goodness, Allie Palmieri pulling out all the stops today, and UMass is up to 80 points.
This has been her most dominant game of the season to this point.
100% agree. Johnson, that will go. A three-pointer for her. And just too little too late for the Zips. Ferguson to Jess Ross, top of the key, now to Perkins, near side wing. Perkins drives, gets past the defender, and finishes with her right hand. Got right past the 6'2" Naira Clark with ease.
And that's not her primary method of scoring, but she was still able to feel comfortable and go for it.
Brooke Polpe and Leah Bullard getting to the scorer's table to check in. No sign of Eva Hannon just yet. 8 seconds on the shot clock for the Zips. Cross court, Murphy, open three, no good. Falls right back into the hands of Mitchell. Mitchell, her shot will go. And Akron doing everything they can to score some threes at the end of the fourth quarter, but like I said, just a little too late for a comeback here. 82-60, UMass with a 22-point lead. Jess Ross wide open at the top of the key, doesn't take the shot. Perkins thinks about a step back three, passes it off. Ferguson with 6 seconds, tries a 2-point jumper, that won't go. And they'll get George on the push out of bounds. That'll be a foul on UMass. Volpe and Bullard into the game, replacing Palmieri and Ferguson. That's sure to be the last of them today. It's the 5 for UMass. Perkins, Bullard, George, Ross, and Polpe. 2:06 to go in the fourth quarter. Here's Mitchell, spins around, gets it to Murphy, open. Now to McGuff, tries a three-pointer off the front of the rim. Defensive rebound for Ayanna Perkins. Perkins drives on Weigel, tries to pass it off to Ross, but a foul will be called.
Very low fouling affair right now.
I was thinking that as well. Not a ton of free throw attempts in this game.
We will now see Hannon come into the game.
Just 19 combined free throw attempts from these two teams. Like you mentioned, Hannon into the game, the freshman from Queens. George passes it over. Polpe tries a three off the side of the rim and out, and Bullard just a little overzealous there. Another foul called. That will be the Minute Women's 5th, so Akron will go to the line and shoot 2. Excuse me, that will be their 4th.
So they will not.
They will not. I'm a little overzealous, clearly. 90 seconds to go in the ball game. UMass still leads 82-60. Cameron Rhodes dumps it off. Liz Murphy. Bounce pass to Mitchell. Mitchell will drive on the puck on Eva Hannon, and a foul is called. 4 fouls now for the Minute Women. Mitchell will go to the line for 2. We have seen Pulpe hit a 3 this season. He's 1 of 4 going into today. As Mitchell hits the first.
And Mitchell, from a poor scoring game from her in terms of where it came from, she's going to end up with 9 points, or potentially more with the last minute of basketball left. So on the score sheet, not the end of the world. A very impressive freshman.
1:04 to go in the fourth quarter. Iona Perkins content with slowing the ball down. Hands it off to George. George to Hannon. Hannon back to Perkins, near side wing. Perkins will drive on the baseline, pass it out. Hannon, open two-pointer, tries to go off the window, but it lands in the hands of Anaya George. There will be a jump ball called. It will somehow favor Akron yet again.
How many jump balls have favored Akron?
3 jump balls in the game, all have favored Akron. Zeke and I have had an issue with this all season. It feels like UMass gets 10% of the possession arrows. We'll see if that will ever change. Under 40 seconds to go here. Akron just trying to put up a last-ditch effort. Mitchell goes up for 2, and she gets fouled once again. She'll get 2 more at the line, but under 30 seconds to go. UMass can just dribble it out after this.
It's going to be Mitchell's 7th 10-point game if she's able to put one of these 2 free throws in, so it doesn't even look like a disappointing performance.
And you're right. Like on the stat sheet, it looks like that, but most of these points coming in garbage time.
Yeah. She had 2 points in the third quarter.
And so I'm sure Coach Gensler is going to have a lot to work on going into their next slate of games. Mitchell goes 2 of 2 for the line, so gets up to 11 points above her season average. Pass from Bullard to George, not a good one, and Akron ends up with another possession. 2 easy points for Izzy Callaway there. 82-66. 15 seconds to go. Perkins nearly gets it over the half court. It gets stolen once again. McGuff leans into the contact. They'll call a foul on Perkins. It'll be 2 shots to the line for McGuff.
Akron just not willing to die. There's 6.4 seconds left in there. Not allowing for the Minute Women to dribble the ball out, playing tough basketball, and now getting to the line.
And you know, for Mike Leffler, he's obviously a lot went well today, but he's not going to be pleased about giving up this many points at the end.
And we got another one.
67 points for Akron, and the kids go wild again. Eva Hannon inbounds to Perkins. Less than 5 seconds to go. She doesn't even have to cross half court. That will be the game. 82-68 the final score. A raucous crowd here today on Field Trip Day. We don't have the official numbers, but what a turnout from these middle schools and elementary schools. Just so impressive to come in here and have this much fan support. What a game.
It was a really good win for the Minute Women. Past all of the glitz and glamour of the fandom, 82-68, they were able to go out and get another home win. They are still undefeated at home. Akron still winless on the road. The Minute Women, another big win in their quest to take the MAC in their first season there.
A great game all around. UMass did everything they had to do. So the final score is 82-68. The Minute Women improved to 12-3 on the season and 4-1 in MAC play. What a start for them. For Dylan Shalom, I'm Beckett Story saying thank you so much for tuning in to our YouTube broadcast of UMass Women's Basketball. We'll be back soon.